Hello everyone! Hello everyone, it's Elena and I'm back with another video. And if you were just thinking, what on earth was that? That is the notebook where I keep all my video notes in, and I got it as a gift, and in all honesty, I was planning on re-gifting it to somebody I don't like, but then I needed a notebook, so now we're a team. But yeah, aside from this weird book, today's video is hopefully going to be quite helpful to everybody who's starting university soon, because I decided to sit down and, think about the things that I wish I had known when I started out as a fresher at Cambridge University. So yeah, I hope that you guys will find this video helpful, but before we get into it, I just quickly wanted to introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 courses, so you can learn pretty much anything on there. So if there's something that you've always had on your list that you wanted to learn but you just didn't really know where to start learning it, Skillshare is probably the place to do it. Personally, I love Skillshare because it helps me with my coding, because I recently started to learn how to code and I still need a lot of help with it, and Skillshare is really great in helping me to learn how to approach problems and just also stay motivated, because as some of you who may have tried it know that when there's one comma that just is missing, then the entire thing just doesn't work. And Skillshare is really great in just helping you find these mistakes and learning how to avoid them in the future. So I'm a huge fan of Skillshare, and if you guys want to try it out, you can have premium membership, which gives you access to all classes for free for 2 months if you're one of the first 500 people to use the link in the info box below. And after that, premium membership is less than $10 a month, and it gives you access to so much knowledge. So yeah, I'd highly recommend trying it out, and you can get your first 2 months for free and just see if Skillshare is the right thing for you. The thing I was probably the most worried about when I started university was making friends, and whether I would make any friends. And I actually later found out that my mom was concerned about that as well, because I'm a very introverted and shy person, so it's really hard for me to make friends. And my mom actually told me after my first term of university that she was really happy that I made any friends, because she wasn't sure whether I would. And I was just like, thanks mom for trusting me. But the thing is, even I made friends, and I've made some amazing friends. And if somebody like me can make friends, then you can too, okay? Don't worry about that. Literally everybody makes friends at university. Because the thing is, when you start university, thousands of other students are starting it as well. And there will be people who relate to you, and there are so many people who are all looking for friends. So don't worry, you will find a friend. And if you're not a conversation starter and you're a very shy and introverted person, that's absolutely fine. I am too, and guess what? I made friends, okay? Even if it's just by sitting next to them in lectures and then they start talking to you or you start talking to them, it's absolutely fine. You don't need to worry just because you're shy or introverted. It doesn't matter, there are enough extroverts around you, so somebody will start talking to you, so don't worry. Everybody makes friends. Literally everybody. And I feel like I just needed to hear that and understand that it's true. And you can watch my vlogs and you'll see that, I have some really great friends, and I feel like everybody who, I've met, even if I didn't become a close friend of theirs, they all have made some really good friendships at Cambridge. And that's because it just works itself out. I know it can be really scary to leave all your high school friends behind, but it's fine. It's really fine, because you will make amazing friends at university. There are so many great people who are coming to university wherever you are, and you will find somebody who you can relate to and who you want to talk to on the daily. Next, let's talk about finances, because that's a very important topic, and I know that for a lot of people, going to university means that it's the first time that they're ever managing their expenses by themselves, and it's really important that you stay on top of that. So what I'd recommend doing is to make a spreadsheet where you put down your monthly budget and how that budget is divided. So how much of that budget are you going to spend on food, on going out, on extracurriculars, on clothes, or whatever really. Really think about what are the things that you spend money on in a month. Write that down and write down how much you can afford to spend on these things in a month. And then stick to that plan. And it's also really important to keep that spreadsheet updated. So what I personally do is I just pay everything by card, because I have an app, and my app shows me where that money went to and how much I spent on it, and then it's just so much easier to just copy and paste it onto my spreadsheet. But you can always ask for a receipt if you're paying something by cash, or you can just quickly write it down in your notepad on your phone. It's really super easy, and it doesn't take a lot of time, but it just gives you an overview of what you're spending your money on. And then, you know, every few days, like this can be every 5 days or something, you just sit down and put these numbers into your spreadsheet. It really doesn't take longer than 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes are very well invested. And then just put some conditional formatting on that spreadsheet so that when you go over a certain amount for some spending or your entire spending, then it just turns red. And that just tells you, okay, you can't spend more on this department for this month because you're over your budget. And I think that's just a really, really great way of giving yourself an overview and also understanding where you might spend too much money. And that just really helps, you know, see, okay, so what am I doing well in, what am I not doing so well in. If you guys want an example spreadsheet with the conditional formatting already on it, I have one linked in the info box below, and it's basically just a blank version of what I use for my own finances. And personally, I find it really, really useful, and it has also really helped me see where I just spend too much money, and it helped me reduce that amount. Next, look after your mental health. This is something that I learned the hard way, and that's why I'm currently on an intermission, so a break from Cambridge for medical reasons. But in all honesty, I feel like this could have probably been avoided had I been more aware of, you know, looking after my mental health. So what I'd recommend doing is to check in with yourself every few days. Like this can just be every 3 days, you know, you just sit yourself down for a little conversation with yourself in your head for like 5 minutes. That's enough, okay? Just ask yourself, okay, how am I doing? Like, how am I actually feeling about things? You know, am I okay? Do I need some time off? Do I need to relax a little bit more? Am I okay? Am I happy? And you know, if that's kind of hard for you to do in your head, just set yourself a little alarm every few days just to write in a diary. Okay, and just write a little bit about your feelings, how you're doing right now. And the great thing about having a diary is you can flip back and see how you felt over the past few weeks. And if you've been feeling really low for weeks and weeks, then just talk to your tutor about it and ask for help. And that's one of the most important lessons that I can give to anybody who's starting university. If you need help with anything, whether it's academic or your mental health or your physical health, really anything, you need to ask for it. Okay, there is so much help available at university, but unlike in high school, people are not going to be looking out for you all the time being like, do you need help? Okay, that may happen, that's great, but very often you're going to have to be the person to ask for help, and then you will be given help, okay? So don't worry about that part, but you need to say, I'm not okay, because in university, people have hundreds and hundreds of students, and so they can't look out for every single one of them. So if there's something about you that is not okay, just tell them. And then they know to look out for it, and then they can start telling you how they can help you. So if there's anything wrong, please don't be afraid to ask. It's so important to ask for help, and there's really no shame in doing it, whatever it is about. The next point is more academic, and it's about planning how you're going to study and manage your time. Don't roll up to university not having given this a single thought. That is not a great plan, okay? Think about this, really think about it. How are you going to take your notes in lectures? Are you, for example, going to use pen and paper? Are you going to take notes on a tablet? Are you going to take your notes on a laptop? What do you need to bring to the faculty every day? How are you planning to make your study notes over the term? Are you going to use flashcards? Are you going to write on blank paper? Are you going to make digital notes? Whatever it is, but have a solid plan in place. Because once your course starts, you will be very, very busy very, very quickly, and you won't be having time to think about, okay, so how am I gonna like study? You need to have figured that one out before. So really give this a lot of thought. And you know, you can try out a few methods at home and you can see, okay, I really like writing on a tablet, or maybe I prefer pen and paper, whatever it is, but really think about this, and also think about how you're going to schedule your time. Are you going to use a digital planner? Are you going to use a paper planner? Whatever it is, but make sure that you have it ready once you go to university. And when they give you any schedules ahead of time, like your lecture schedules or whatever, already put them in your calendar for the entire term. You're not going to regret this, because once you start your term, you're going to be so busy, and there is this temptation to just, you know, neglect your calendar. And that is a very, very bad idea, because then you will start losing track of things. So really important to have a great planning system in place so that your time management won't suffer once it gets really busy in university. If you guys want to know how I manage my time at Cambridge, I made a video on it and you can find it linked in the info box below for you guys. And lastly, read up on the different things that your university has to offer. So read up on your course structure, on extracurricular offerings, on support systems, any health requirements, really anything. Usually before you start university, your university will send you a package with a lot of information. It's usually a few hundred pages, and I know it's tempting to just be like, oh, it's gonna be fine, I don't need to read this. but reading this will help you a lot. I'd recommend taking out 3 days from your summer break and going over all of these things and then taking notes on it. So you can treat it a little bit like a homework reading or whatever. So what I personally did is I made a really long note in my notes pad, which I can access from all my devices, and I just wrote down, okay, so these are some things about health at Cambridge, these are some things about living in my college, etc. Just some really important phone numbers, people I can contact, things that I can do, etc. And that was just really helpful, and it came in handy so many times, because when the point comes where you need any of these things and you don't even know that they exist, that's not great. So doing this over 3 days during your holiday is a really great investment of your time, and then you will never have to look at all these long info pamphlets again. So yeah, that's my advice to people who are starting university in the fall, and I hope that some of these things will help you guys. Those are honestly just things that I wish I had known when I started out as a fresher at Cambridge. So I hope that they can help some of you guys. And if you guys want to learn something new, you can use the link in the info box below to get 2 months of free premium membership with Skillshare. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye!